Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all the witnesses for coming today. Mr. Buckley, I believe in response to a question from Representative Knott, you said that one of the things that we could do is to condition federal aid on removing red tape from water infrastructure projects. Could you expound on that a little bit?
Well, let's go all the way down the line. When we're constructing a project in construction, we have a dedicated person that has to track the financing and the billing and all that stuff just associated with SRF-funded jobs. So that's just on my part. Then you go up to the water utility managers and how many people and personnel do they have that have to track and monitor and track all that funding. So I think it's just a tier step of number of personnel that have to follow through with the reporting and the red tape.
Right, thank you. Mr. Walker, you stated that, quote, you won't die without your cell phone or streaming service. Have you met my teenagers?
I have two just like that, so yes, sir, they think they do.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. In your written testimony on page 4, you wrote that congressional mandates on SRF loans increase the cost of clean water infrastructure, which are passed on to households in higher wastewater bills. This is a recurrent theme, I think, on this committee, that we make investments in infrastructure, or we try to, but then red tape, regulation, permitting and so on delays or increase the costs of those projects. And in your on the same page, you list some of these congressional mandates. Davis-Bacon, which some have called Jim Crow's last stand, but American Iron and Steel, water and energy certification, fiscal sustainability plan, engineering procurement, Buy America, Build America. How can we remove some of this, these layers and layers and layers of congressional mandates that get in the way of meritorious projects?
Well, I would say that if Congress put them in, Congress can take them out. And it's kind of like, these are probably good ideas at the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a loan officer, I'm looking at fiscal sustainability. I don't need somebody else to tell me what that means.
Right.
And so, and these are a death by 1,000 bites. There's multiple ones.
Right. Yeah. No. I agree. And on the next page of your testimony, you point out green certification. The Clean Water Act requires SRF borrowers to certify that they have selected the processes, materials, techniques, and technologies that maximize efficient use, water reuse, recapture, and conservation, energy conservation, and so on. And and then as you said, but this is the value of water and energy efficiency, you say, is firmly instilled across the water sector and will not be eroded if congressional mandate is sunset. Yeah, this is just part of what people managing these projects do. They're not wasting water on purpose. They're not trying to use too much energy to drive up the cost of water or wastewater bills. So, you care to comment?
I agree. I mean, nobody is trying to build an inefficient project because it costs you much more in the long run than you save in the short run. So
why force the project managers to jump through and do more permits, more reports?
I wonder where the reports are going. Do y'all get those reports?
Yeah, I've never seen one, and it seems like everything that government does, this is the theme. I serve on the Education and Workforce Committee, and there we wonder why the expenditures on public education have done this, and educational attainment has gone down. And a lot of it, and a lot of it, by the way, what goes along with costs is the number of non-teacher, non-principal bureaucrats, and that's to comply with federal mandates.
My wife was a teacher for 31 years, so she's well aware of all the reports she had to do. One of the reasons she decided to retire because it became more paperwork than teaching.
Well, right, and by the way, the salaries of teachers have gone up very modestly. The number of teachers has gone up about 8% over the last 20 years, student about 8%, administrators, non-principal administrators have gone up 88%. So that is where the money is going, and that's where our good teachers are going. They're leaving the profession because they're frustrated. And I fear that probably the same thing happens with some people getting frustrated trying to put together water projects. Okay, thank you so much for your testimony. I yield back.